Hello and welcome to another YouTube video with me, James Niyomugabo, and today we'll be talking about an interesting topic, the real meaning of the rainbow. What's the true meaning of the rainbow? What does it mean? And you can see I tried to dress as best as I could in terms of color so you can see all the spectrum and all the colors. But real talk, what does the rainbow mean? And the reason why I'm doing this right now is because we all know there's so much confusion around the world when it comes to what does the rainbow really mean, because there's so many variations and so many different meanings. So today we want to explore the idea or the concept of the rainbow in a little bit of depth and detail, and let's just discover what does it really mean. And so without much further ado, let's roll the intro. The rainbow has been the favorite of everybody. Religion, art, everybody just loves the rainbow. And you find this in the Greco-Roman mythology. They talk about the rainbow. You find it in Tibetan Buddhism, teaches the idea of the rainbow as well. It's found in Chinese mythology. It's really found everywhere. As we see the rainbow, we also find the rainbow in art a lot. I mean, what great masterpiece can you devise or can you build or can you draw than the rainbow itself? And so it's just amazing that everybody recognizes that the rainbow is actually pretty amazing. And honestly, it's really cool. You can't look at the rainbow without this thrill of wonder and awe, like, wow, what is that, right? And so the rainbow has it's a very powerful symbol, and we see that it's also used in flags as well. I'll read here from Wikipedia. It says that rainbow flags tend to be used as a sign of a new era of hope, of social change. Rainbow flags have been used in many places over the centuries. In the German Peasants' War in the 16th century, as a symbol of the cooperative movement, as a symbol of peace, especially in Italy, to represent the Tahuantin Suyu or Inca territory, mainly in Peru and Bolivia, by some Druze communities in the Middle East, by Jewish autonomous oblasts, to represent International Order of Rainbow for girls since the early 1920s, and also obviously as a symbol of gay pride and LGBT social movements since the 1970s. In the 1990s, Archbishop Desmond Tutu and President Nelson Mandela described the newly democratic South Africa as the Rainbow Nation, also alluding to the idea of diversity and multiculturalism. So that's really what the rainbow is about, representing multiculturalism, and also in the very real sense, the rainbow expresses different emotions, happiness, hope, togetherness, good fortune. Rainbow, in fact, recently during the pandemic, the rainbows were used as a sign of hope during this pandemic. But I did mention one aspect though, one concept of this whole rainbow issue, and that's the biblical narrative. And there's a reason why I kept that one for last, because I believe that it's the only one that tells us not only what it means, it doesn't seek to explain the phenomena, but it actually tells us the origin of the phenomena, which means we can trust what the Bible says the rainbow means, because the rainbow originated with God himself. This story, of course, is found in Genesis chapter 9 from verse 13 to 17. I'll start from verse 7 though for context. God, this is after the flood, after he has destroyed most of the world at the time. The antediluvian world was destroyed. And God tells the remaining people, Noah and his family, Noah, his 2 sons and their families, 3 sons, sorry. He tells them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. We all come from Noah at that point, because Noah was the only person living at the time. So if you read verse 7, it says, be fruitful and multiply and bring forth abundantly in the earth and multiply therein. And God spake unto Noah and to his sons with him, saying, and I behold, And I, behold, I establish my covenant with you and with your seed after. So this covenant that God is about to tell us is not just for Noah or his sons, but it says for everybody that follows after you, your seed afterward is the wording used here. So this is very interesting. We are that seed because we come from Noah. Adam, of course, but then also from Noah. Well, it continues to say, and with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl of the cattle and of every beast of the earth with you, from all that go out of the ark to every beast of the earth. So this is God making a covenant with everything that is alive, every living thing. And I will establish my covenant with you. Neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood, neither shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth. So God is saying, I won't destroy the earth again with a flood again. That's the promise, or that's that's what God is saying. And verse 12 it says, and God said, this is the token of the covenant. So this is the symbol, this is the sign of the covenant. And it says, which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. 13, I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth. So the rainbow is a token, rainbow or rainbow. The rainbow is a token. It's a sign that God will not destroy the earth again with water. God says whenever there's rain, actually let me read verse 14, and it shall come to pass when I bring a cloud over the earth that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. And I'll remember that I have made a promise that I'll never destroy the earth again. And this was really comforting. Imagine the entire world has been destroyed by thunder and rain and all that. And imagine they were afraid that maybe if it rains again, maybe it means God is going to destroy them again. But God, this is a sign of hope, of course, and of course of God's mercy towards people. He's saying, I won't do this again this way, at this magnitude. But of course, we all know that even though God is saying that he won't destroy the earth again with flood, the Bible makes it clear that he's going to destroy the world again with fire, the second time or the last time. And so obviously we see the idea of God's mercy being shown here. That's what the rainbow means. When you look at that rainbow, don't try to devise other meanings for yourself. Just appreciate first the beauty it has, and remember that God has made a covenant with you, that he loves you, that he's merciful and gracious and long-suffering. It represents God's character, really. And if you think about it, like when God is making a covenant in Isaiah 53, when God is giving us the most precious of his promises, he uses this idea in Isaiah 54. It says, as I have sown that the waters of Noah should no more go over the earth, so have I sown that I would not be wroth with thee, nor rebuke thee. For the mountains shall depart and the hills be removed, but my kindness shall not depart from thee. Neither shall the covenant of my peace be removed, saith Jehovah, that hath mercy on thee. So God's mercy, God's kindness shall not be removed, and the rainbow is a sign of that. So the rainbow is amazing. Now here's the final concept I want to talk about the rainbow, and it's found from the book Education, page 115, paragraph 2. It says, as the bow in the cloud results from the union of sunshine and shower, so the bow above God's throne represents the union of his mercy and his justice. To the sinful but repentant soul, God says, leave thou, I have found a ransom. So it's amazing. The rainbow is a sign of God's justice and mercy. It says, mercy and truth are the foundation of your throne. So the foundation of God's throne. In fact, this is amazing because when you read the book of Revelation, the circle or the throne of God, the throne is encircled with the bow, with the rainbow. Amazing, right? And it represents God's justice and God's mercy. There's two things happening. You have the sunshine, and then you have the water as well. So you have light plus water equals rainbow. In fact, I did a very interesting experiment on this. Why don't I show you here? Or you can watch the video elsewhere. I'll see what I can do. But in the experiment, I literally just show how you can create the rainbow using a mirror and water and light, and You just need two things. Water and light equals the rainbow. And God says, whenever you see that happen, remember that I'm merciful. As far as I'm just, as far as I've destroyed the whole antediluvian world because they have sinned against me, I'm also merciful and gracious. And if you are willing to come to me, I will be gracious to you. However, if you refuse and rebel, then the Bible is clear in Isaiah that you shall be devoured by the sword, or something bad is going to happen to you. Ultimately, the second death, which is hellfire. So it's really amazing. The rainbow has so much meaning. And as I was reading about the rainbow, I came across something. Isaac Newton is one who discovered the idea of light being in two different he identified 7 colors known as the refugee, right? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Refugee, right? And really, to him, 7 was a very important a number. In fact, he was a student of the Bible as well. And when you study the Bible, you find that 7 refers to the idea of God's completeness or fullness. And really, when you look at the rainbow, it shows complete fullness of God's character, that not only is God grace, not only are we living under the age of grace, Jesus died for all of us, but really God is also just, because when you look at the cross, you don't see God's mercy only, you see also God's justice, because somebody had to die. And so that was Jesus. Isaiah 53 says, "All we like sheep have gone astray. Everyone has turned to his own way, but you have laid on him," Jesus, "the iniquity of us all." That was justice. Somebody had to die. And so God is just and merciful at the same time. And it's really amazing to understand that completely and fully. And so it's just sad that many people are misusing the rainbow and don't really understand what it means to them, the actual applications it has. And some people are even taken away from the rainbow, replacing colors, removing colors, adjusting the numbers. I came across this one where they actually have 6 colors instead of 7. Now, obviously, I understand that color is not concrete. Color is more like a spectrum that flows. Like when you study the electromagnetic spectrum of the visible light, it just continues into the other spectrums we can't see. But even for any given point in the electromagnetic spectrum, visible light, each one continues and spreads into the other one. I understand that, but at the same time, we recognize the 7 colors in the rainbow that are really visible to the eye. And I think there's a reason why God chose it to be so. But of course, and so it's sad when people start saying 6 as the numbers in the rainbow, because when you study the Bible, you find that 6 is the number as opposed to 7. 6 is the number of man. And when you study Revelation 13, for example, it speaks of the number of man. The number of the beast is a number of a man, and that number is 666 in short. And so I found that very interesting. Anyways, I hope that you guys learned something about the rainbow. And if you like this video, if you like this information, share. And I did write an article on this. It's not really an article, but just like a blog or something. It's a short post I wrote regarding the rainbow, where I just go a bit in detail about this, or actually not really in detail, but just talk about it a little bit. You can follow that blog on Medium under my name, and I'll be subscribe or follow the blog, and I'll be sharing something every week. A new blog or a new blog post every week about something, something from the Bible, something from nature, something from just science, something that's amazing, something that's interesting, something that I'm studying, something new that I've discovered that I just want to share with you all. So thank you so much, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Bye for now.